Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Sparkles and Blessings. I'm Ducky, and today we are on to story number 34 in my quest to find 500 stories for my family, friends, and grandchildren, the same way that my grandfather did for his grandchildren. So today is kind of a special one for me because it's almost nothing less than a miracle. It was a couple of years ago that I was going through YouTube, scrolling. I was kind of falling into the hole. And then I saw something that just totally amazed me, and I'm still thunderstruck by it. Way back in the 50s, there was a television show called To Tell the Truth. Or was it What's My Line? Maybe it was What's My Line? And the premise of this story, of this show, was a person would come on stage and the panelists would have to guess who they were. What was their significance? Were they an actress? Were they a carpenter? Were they a movie maker? Were they a singer? Were they a grocer? So this was the premise of the television show. And one day they had on, believe it or not, an eyewitness to the Lincoln assassination. An eyewitness account of Lincoln, President Lincoln's assassination. Now, I went to watch it, and of course the fellow that is telling the story is very old, but he says he was a young boy, 7 or 8 years old, when his father took him to the Ford Theater to see a play, and he recalls about how he saw the assassin swing down and run off. And this is a living memory. And to me, there's a kind of magic to sharing something like that, a living memory. And imagine with that in mind, imagine my joy. Shortly after meeting my son-in-law's grandmother. My son-in-law's grandmother once told me that she was part of the crowd that saw the Beatles in the cellar when they were first coming out. And to me, that is history. Alive, I can hear her tell me, and I can gain from the inflection in her voice what it was like to be there at that time. And every time I see this dear woman, I kind of go back to it and I say, tell me again the story about how you were there and saw the Beatles play live over and over again. So that being said, no doubt you have recollections like this too. Whether it be a family member, a friend, somebody told you something, remember it. Go to your grandmothers, go to your grandfathers, go to your mothers and fathers. Get every detail of their lives. What was it like? Because when they're gone, they're gone. Yeah. Example, I lost my grandmother, and one day I needed to know exactly how to put on a hairpin properly. And there was only one woman I knew who knew how to put on a hairpin properly, and that was my grandmother. And she's no longer around, but she was the one I should have asked. So, young kids, take this to heart. Love your parents, love your grandparents, aunts, uncles, whoever's around you, friends. And even co-workers. Get their stories, share them, appreciate them. That being said, thank you for visiting Sparkles and Blessings. I hope you join me again. Ducky out.